first came to NA, I worked with the models, with the academy team, and I realized that there's a lot of cultural challenges that exist in that's very unique to NA and esports, right? Where there's this very interesting intersection, because in unlike traditional sports, in esports, players they don't start training with under a structure or a system or a coach. From a very early age, which is what happens if you want to pick up any other sport, right? Like you start going to community events or whatsoever, and then you start developing your skills and your literacy of the game from the age of 6 or 7, and you're very used to working in a team environment, a coaching environment. But in esports and for League of Legends, a lot of times players they go through they go up, they climb the ranks in solo queue where everything is basically self-taught, and then all of a sudden they need to be placed into a team environment. And I realized that this is something that the Asian teams got right, where they had these B teams. They have the B houses in Korea and Taiwan. You would spend almost close to a year just being a understudy or training partner for the team before you even join an academy team in the first place. And in China, they have like these massive B team systems with like lots of players in them. The moment you hit a certain rank on the ladder, they fly you in. You are then boot camping for a month there at the facility, and depending on how well you do, they then decide whether to bring you on as a training partner or as a trainee.
More esports you Valorant action. I'm Laird, he's Soav. We got ourselves one of the final matches of the regular season here. It's going to be between Trinity Valley Community College and Madison College Wolfpack.
Yeah, still some teams vying, a little middle of the pack, a little lower, still trying to vie for some decent playoff positioning. There's still one more chance to try to get yourself in a little bit of a better spot. Maybe try to sneak yourself in if you are the side of Madison, but it's still a lot on the line. This is still a set worth paying attention to if you're both of these teams. So every single point matters here. So it's all on the line, Laird.
Absolutely, my friend. So, I mean, let's take a look at these teams' records. Currently Trinity Valley sitting at, I believe,
I think it's
one
three
for
and three.
five.
They're
So,
1-5. They're one and
yeah,
five. I'm sorry.
and pretty much all of their losses, they haven't been able to win a single map. But that is a complete inverse of the story we're seeing from Madison College, who are currently 3-3. At a
Yeah.
500 record at the moment. But two of their losses coming to Westchester and Fort Scott have actually been 1-2 losses. So they've been very, very close to being able to clutch this thing out. So, game threes are pretty likely here between these two schools.
Especially given that Madison is closer to that 500 mark, letting it avoid that game three would be very, very important for them. You don't want to get that game three on. You don't want to try to lower that percentage anymore or force out any more map wins losses. That's going to possibly bring you down a little bit further. Meanwhile, for Trinity, yeah, it's probably a little bit unlikely you're going to go on for playoffs, but it still would look good to try to turn around this end of the season and set yourself up on the way up for next season.
Absolutely, my friend. But we're going to be looking at the map bans at the moment. We got a couple of interesting choices here.
Yeah.
We see Ascent not getting picked, which is a bit of an oddity here. But we will be starting our first map on Bind, and MC will be on Attack, as you guys can see. And on the other side of things, Trinity Valley will be on Attack for Breeze. And then should we go to the final map, the decider will be on Icebox, which is a really fun one for me personally. But
Yeah.
I think it'll be a fun one, dude. Honestly, Trinity Valley, they have a very, very young team. Currently only have 2 freshmen and 4 sophomores. It's their first year in Valorant as well. The whole program, it's their second year. But
Yeah.
in their actual school, though, they are one of the numerous athletic teams ranked nationally. Number 10 in football, number 7 in volleyball, and women's basketball. They are the number 1. On top of that, their cheers program was featured in the Netflix show Cheer, which
Yeah, I mean, that's cool.
that's pretty cool. So notable
That's pretty
schools
rad.
starting to break into esports is always something we like to look at.
Yeah, and I mean, you're not necessarily. It's like you said. There's a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores, a lot of fresh talent. These kind of programs don't just sprout up overnight and just find success. There are very few colleges that get that. So there's some growing pains, and you can see it in their record. But all things considered, you can see there's going to be changes. Speaking of seed, let's see who they're looking at here for this map one, because I'm very interested to see what you bring out for Bind. It's kind of typical that you're bringing and considering that. I see the Harbor hovered. That's an interesting one for me. I wasn't expecting that, but I would love to see it if Big Sky does lock that. That would be a first for me, if nothing else. Meanwhile, on the other side for Trinity Valley, we're looking at double duelist here. The Astra is an interesting pick. She's been in a rough spot for a little bit, but I do think the tweaks to her have kind of given her a little bit of power back. So a very aggressive team, and I do think so. But Madison, they're kind of eyeing more of what I would have expected out of them.
Right. Madison's rocking a pretty general comp. Not something you see too. You see him pretty regularly, yeah, for sure. But
Yeah.
I mean, Chamber being locked in on the side of Hinata, there is a lot of potential with that character. They're one of the top characters in the meta, one of the best sight holders, just because of their ability to reposition and teleport, as well as get those one-shot potential. But double controller is interesting as well. Only one initiator, one or DPS character. Duelist, that's the term. Excuse me.
Duelist. There you go. It's all right. Yeah, but like the DPS is a bit lower on that comp. Like you said, it's not exactly there. You're really dependent on your raise to get value, and also the Chamber to get a lot of value. Chamber is very good, and Viper, for the same reason, can hold a lot of space and hold a lot of ground. So this is a very steady, stable comp. I'm just a little concerned as to what's going to happen once because you have enough smokes to kind of slice up. The question is what do you do when you don't have the information to go with it? Meanwhile, on the other side, it'll be very easy for Trinity to just kind of muscle their way in and take what they need to. If you don't start shooting through smokes, that could be a bit of a problem. So expect this gunpowder versus this very stable comp to come up very, very frequently.
Absolutely. You got to also keep in mind, though, double smokes and, two controllers in general are going to make it really difficult for area denial. The amount of repositioning that Chamber and Raze also have access to. Raze with her packs, Chamber obviously with his teleporters. There's a lot of shenanigans that can happen with this comp. But as we take a look around the map, there's some pretty interesting sites, a lot of ratty spots. Obviously, as we are looking at showers right now. Hookah, a really fun site to contest. And, on top of everything else, it's going to be interesting. We see Fade locked in from both teams. And that's a character who just recently got nerfed this week, as a matter of fact. Their ult cost is now at 8 as opposed to 7. So it's a lot more costly whenever you pop it. And on top of that, Prowler is going to be much more difficult to make work of from the Fade as well. But looks like it's going to be a bit of an A push, trying to play for picks at the moment.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit slower. Like you said, there is a fade on both sides, but you're not necessarily getting the greatest of information, so it's going to come down to Madison here to really kind of slice up these points to get what they want, considering they don't have the Sage for a lot of the typical approaches for this A site. So keep an eye on those. And speaking of this, keep an eye out for Stingy here, just launching that out. We'll try to find some information. Smokes in, and just there is a spot. Reflex falls there, and that's 2 picks to open it up.
Yep, and it's going to be big for MC, currently forcing their way on site. CJ now is going to get picked, has to run through. Look at all that, you know what I mean? Look at all that smoke.
Yeah, there's that joke coming around that you can't really see anything, but CJ sees it all, finds 2 coming up, and their ability back on will just lob the grenade, but Spike's down here, and it's 3-3.
Yep, pressure's coming on. Big Sky getting 2 right clicks. Magui is going to be grabbing 1, has that ghost in hand, hitting Nezuko in the corner, and yep, on that peak they're going to get hit. Hinata right now trying to cover Spike, misses 1. He's just going to hold. There's not a lot of time left. Gets a headshot. Ooh. And gets shot through the boxes. CJ from Trinity Valley is going to be standing strong in the face of adversity, winning that first round for their team.
Yeah, great 4K just to kind of lock it up and play well. You can see the shooting was very, very clean for them. So slower approach, a little bit more methodical, worked out in their favor going into the next round. I mean, gun advantage is just going to be in their favor. It's going to be hard to really pull this back short of just getting some early picks for the side of Madison College. They're kind of considering even, do we just want to buy up a little bit? Do we want to try to put? Hinata is just kind of eyeing the ghost. I don't think you need it. She's been looking pretty good. Came off with 1. So, I mean, this attack is just going to be rougher just simply because they're just behind in guns.
Absolutely, dude. And it looks like they're going for C long. That's the thing about taking long sights in general. If you don't have guns, it's going to be a lot more difficult for you to contest your opponent there. But, hey, you know what? I would love to see them try. CJ's going to reposition. Just to be a little bit awkward about it. Toast them up right now. Trying to find a way in. Seeing if they want to use their paint shell. But long is going to be where the site is going to be trying to get pushed in from. As MC has to regroup. TVC doing a good job of holding down their site here. Nada looking for a pick. Not going to find one. Big Sky rotating back around to A site with the rest of his team. He's leading the charge. Is that Juju's going to be coming out of lamps here. And and finds one. No,
Oh,
Big Sky's
no.
gonna pick him up, and now he's got a gun. Reflex going on for it as well. Takes him out while he's trying to go for his util. Reflex is gonna get another one. Close him up, trying to fight the way in. Doesn't get one. Reflex gonna pick him up. And it is just down to one player on the side of MC. It is Hinata, who is the sole player holding the spike. And will get hit by CJ on the Ghost. And that is another good victory for Trinity Valley.
Yeah, it's hard to look at that and not say much besides you had rifles on your side, you had the gun advantage. You can check off a lot to that, and that's kind of the expected outcome in a lot of ways. So chop it up. Now that guns are a little bit more even, we're back to kind of what we expected, and CJ is the only one really close to a powerful ult. So if CJ comes up big again, expect to possibly see that showstopper make an appearance. Considering they haven't died yet, it's very possible, but it's going to be tough. They need to play a little bit slower here, considering that they have so much that they have to set up. This double controller really needs to isolate and set up the exact point they want these attacks to hit, but they just need to be patient about it. This isn't a fast comp. They don't have the time to rush, and they don't need to be punished for taking it like that.
Yeah. So right now, everyone's just playing slow, looking for picks. As you can see on the map, it looks like we have a Sentinel stare down at the moment in Hookah. As it is walled up. I think Hinata is trying to see if Magui is going to hop up on top of the wall and try to go for some picks, but actually going to rotate back around to A. It looks like that is where the majority of the engagement will be for this MC team. They do have gun advantage at the moment.
Ooh, CJ falls. That's an important pick there.
Yeah. CJ's the heavy hitter for sure. Reflex is going to get one around the corner, but can't reposition themselves. They are going to get gunned down in a moment here. If they get pursued. It looks like right now they're just holding it down.
No need to chase. No need to chase. They got spiked down. That's really important.
They're mollied,
Reflex
though.
now going to crush. Ooh, Molly. Yeah, they managed to get out, but no sight to anything. This is a dangerous situation to be in. Eventually
hang
sprays
on.
down. Sakura catches one, though, and that's going to keep this alive.
Yep, that's Juju and Sakura currently hanging out in lamps. Stingy is hanging out in showers. Juju's hanging out in smoke. Yep, gonna get one tapped on peak. Sakura's down.
One enemy remaining.
One player standing for Trinity Valley, and it is Magui, who will get noted.
Yeah.
And yep, it's gonna be Nezuko on the Viper, who will be taking the majority of the kills that match. That's a 3K for them.
Great use of all those smokes too. We were talking about the chaos that gets kind of created from that, and that was the slow approach and the setup I wanted to see. Just being able to layer those layer those smokes a little bit better to, create crossfires, create safe travel amongst that, and create setup. Just enabled them to get the spike down and keep them and give them their first win here. So now with that in hand, they force the economy. They're on the side of Trinity Valley. They're a little bit all in. They're going to force the rifles. So a very important round. Trinity needs this to keep themselves alive. Otherwise, it's just going to start to snowball here.
And I think I've noticed that CJ is going to be wielding a Bucky for this round, but that's an unfortunate loss for both sides. CJ as well as Reflex going down early on this approach from MC.
Great smokes down. That's going to buy up a lot of the space and deny a lot of those sight lines. Probably just get the spike down in this moment.
Ooh, Big Sky is going to molly himself, it looks like. Make it look like he doesn't want people to come out, but he's going to go in a moment. Is that Juju right now through all the smoke, trying to get any bit of intel. The three left standing for TVC are all have their backs to each other, but Big Sky's going to pick up Magui.
One enemy remaining.
And he's also going to get Sakura. He's looking for one more. Juju's right there. He knows that. Juju's going to get one. That's a Phantom.
Being a dream.
Oh, yep.
No.
Hinata gets it. And it is an even game once again.
Yeah, I mean, that was such an all-important round for Trinity Valley. They were all in on that, so, I mean, they're not going to have it. They have a couple ultimates to kind of balance it out, but it's nothing really you can get a lot of value out of. Showstopper will probably get a pick or two, and you do have... I mean, the Astro Ult's not going to get you much that you're not needing, especially on this defense. Might buy you a little bit of counter space to get it to defuse if you need it, but it's not going to be good going into this. It looks like they're going to try to force that buy, and I don't know. I might just take the full save because the three ultimates, you have so much across from you on the side of Madison College that it might just be worth a full reset and just taking the round loss.
No, I'm with you. CJ right now holding long as best they can. Big Sky trying to move around as well. Catches the flick, but nope, not going to get a hit. Shell's going to delay this a little bit. CJ is going to be dropping the Roomba bot. try to divert the guns, but it will be Hinata and Big Sky picking those ones up. CJ goes down early without taking a single one yet again. I think second or third round in a row.
Yeah. Just they're keeping him in check there, and it's doing a great job of enabling them to then enter and just kind of take advantage. They got the spike down with all 5 intact, and they're just suddenly in a great position.
Now I was going to get Magui right there. The smoke on elbow is really, really powerful. That Juju's going to be going around through hookah. He's going to realize there's somebody waiting in there. He has to clear the corner, and he does, but his back was turned to the other side, and it's going to be that Juju picking him up with the stinger.
Yeah, you can see it, and that's kind of the problem with the single initiator, right? You have only so much information you can get out of your lurkers, and it's just kind of a rough spot to be. But thankfully for the side of Trinity Valley, they didn't spend much to get this. They'll basically have rifles on board and armor, so they'll have a couple tools in their box now, and the economy for Madison College just continues to grow, and you got to give it to Hinata. She's looking good at 8-2. Yeah, really showing the stability of Chamber, just having that arsenal of guns when you can actually hit those shots. Really showing why it's such a high pick agent here.
As we go, it looks like it's going to be Hinata leading the charge going on to A. There's a Prowler around the corner. He's going to get some of them. Oh, and is that Juju's going to try to eat?
Oh, no.
tried to be out of the range of that, but not going to get CJ. Oh, he got baited out the teleporter. He's going to hit that one. CJ vulnerable. Yep, going to get one tap by Big Sky. On that paint shell, Stingy's going to get hit a little bit. Big Sky right now has 51 HP, however. As everyone on MC, and it is just 3 left standing for Trinity Valley yet again.
It's 3, and they don't have sights to pretty much anything. They're kind of unaware of where everybody's set up for this, and there's all 5 there. So just kind of blind firing for whatever they can get here, and I don't know what this is going to come down to when they try to engage, but they have to find... No, it looks like they're just going to bail out and take a save. I think that's a reasonable decision here. I think all things considered, take that. You can help buy for your team the rest of this. It's 3v5. You don't really stand a chance of getting anything out of it. You pulled an ultimate or 2. It's not a win, but it is a pretty decent place to be. Maybe you get the exit pick. Yes, you do. You get at least 1. That's something. That's the real win there.
Yeah. Then again, Tozumoku could just buy up this round again. Not too big of a deal, but I gotta say, on that plant, the formation from MC was nigh unbreakable. I mean, you had someone hanging out at all of the choke points. You had somebody hanging out at lamps. You had somebody hanging out on boxes. You had 2 people hanging out, one in showers, one on the boxes outside of showers, but with natural cover from heaven. And I forget what the last person was, but my gosh, like, if you tried to stick your head out, there were 5 guns on you at any given moment.
Yeah, there was no world you were really going to engage on that. Like, there was just no world you could, not even with 3, not even with the information. Yeah, you needed to get the value there. But speaking of value, there's value to be had here as long as you can find it in the ultimates. Lurker doesn't find anybody, so Hookah, it gives that false appearance. And I like the patient play, the playback from Trinity Valley. But speaking of that, Reflex will find 2, and that's a great way to open this up for the defense here.
But then again, Toast 'em Up is going to get rid of CJ on the Raise Mirror. They win. And that's the big heavy fragger down right now for Trinity Valley.
No sights, nothing really available. Sakura does get spotted at dash up, but B is basically on site, and there it goes Sakura. Program failed successfully, so now it will be B site open, and it's going to be a tough retake on the 2v3. But the question is again, do they even want to engage this? It's going to be very, very hard, and I don't think Astra doesn't have a lot of tools available to this. They have both ultimates, but it may not be worth the committal.
No, definitely not, considering you don't even have any Prowlers on the side of your Fade either, Obviously, Nightfall's a great ult. That's why they had to nerf it, but without Prowlers, it's a lot harder. But Toast 'em Up, gonna go for the flick, and I'm not gonna get anyone with that RPG.
It was a good look. It was a good thought, but like Trinity Valley just knows there's no point to engage this. They don't have the means to do it, and they are not willing to commit ultimates. This is going to be the case, but you can see it. Someone wants to try to take it, and Zuko really wants to try to get a pick on the way out, so... they're going to have to push a little bit further to not die to the spike, and they'll get out, but that's fine. So, yeah, I don't see anything wrong. Like, that's kind of the best case you can get in this scenario. The late swing. Oh!
Reflex
the late swing.
For 1-2, but not going to get it.
Yeah. Nah, the late swing was just a little greedy. Yeah, that's rough. It's going to be another full kind of all-in for the side of Trinity Valley, and this is just kind of reading. They've been holding a couple of these ultimates, not really sure if they should commit it, and it seems like the in-game leadership is kind of not fallen, but it just seems like no one's really sure if this is worth the commit. So we just need to see them kind of make a plan for a retake, and they could be in a better spot, because Madison College has looked fantastic. They know exactly what they want to do, and for being able to dissect these with these controllers so well, they just make these takes and these plants look so easy just because they know exactly what their set plays are.
Yeah, man. Again, using controllers aggressively is very difficult to do. They are very defensive-based characters, but again, it seems like MC's doing a really good job of making the double comp work.
Right here.
Yeah, they're looking very good, and you're getting value from it. And again, by the time they drop all these ultimates, there's just enough chaos made to really take advantage of it. But I say that, and we're just starting to see fire now. Someone's finally been caught out. Toast 'em up is going to play that angle a little bit and just try and find it. And I think I'm surprised we haven't seen the rotation here yet, because it's pretty clear this is all in.
Right? Oh, is that Juju? But Nezuko's going to pick him up first.
Ooh.
Reflex gets one.
Reflex
Gets traded.
comes out back. It's traded out there. So Spike going down, and suddenly it looks good for Madison College here on the attack. They'll get it down, and the two late rotators just kind of coming through. Again, is this a point where you even want to try to go into this? You have the gun power, but do you have much else besides that? The last of the smokes are going to come out to buy the space, and I mean, this is going to be a tough moment to even take. Magui trying to find one, does find one, and that opens it up. Sakura finds a second to keep it going, but not quite enough. We'll get out, and then we'll get caught. So now that they're out of dodge, the time is running out. I don't think they're going to get there for the plant. No, Magui finds one.
Just got to get covered.
No.
Sakura's on it. Sakura's on it. Got a body block. Oh, but
no, that goes down.
Yeah, that's going to
do it.
Stingy is going to hold strong there.
Great comeuppance from Stingy. Great clutch play. And yeah, just that's a good bit of discipline. So running away with it here, looking good, this Wolfpack team. It's tough because this forces Trinity Valley back into another, are you half buying? Are you saving? What do you do? I mean, I think the answer is you start committing ults, right? You've been holding these for so long. Like Laird, you got to commit, give them up. You have to do something with them. Otherwise, you're just losing value.
Exactly, man. It's so hard when you have like a super in a fighting game or whatever, just to be like, oh, but it's a resource. I got to save it. Man, if you save it too long, you're going to waste it.
Yeah.
Pretty much what you said, just with a little bit more dramatic flair, my friend.
Yeah, you added the look. You sold it way better than I did. I just hit it here, but what's about to get sold might be the shot from Reflex. Shakes one and gets out. So there's the warning shot there, looking, and you can see the Jet in the background with knives out, just looking for anybody.
This guy actually got hit by that Marshall shot too. He's only at 49, so that's 2 taps from a rifle.
That's enough, and there's not healing on that side, so he's gonna have to play the rest of that game pretty much from behind. So making this engage even further. Lurker comes in, doesn't quite hit the bounds, so it's gonna not find anything. But I appreciate the slow play here. There's not much. They're still kind of deciding and communicating it.
Just try to let the other team waste their util. Trying to bait them out with some of their own. Sakura does not realize that Hinata's waiting right there for a pick. They're not going to try to jump out of the smoke anyway. And Stingy's going to pick one up on CJ behind the scenes. Oh, wait. Actually, A site's clear. And it looks like the plant is coming in from the other unit. Yep, that was a covert operation onto B site. And now the late rotation is going to come around from everyone else on Trinity Valley. Nightfall's going to come out and make it a little bit easier. Finally gets some usage out of that. Magui has their back to sewers, or not sewers, to showers. And it is simply Juju staying alive, and Hinata's going to pick that one up, securing a flawless take from NC.
I mean, we only saw the one come out from Juju, but it was at least kind of helpful. It's a little too late, too. Like Nightfall is an opener, right? You have to use that to kind of get yourself in. That's the perfect tool once you get cleared of hookah, once you get a little bit of space, just to open it up and force everybody out. You want to talk about something that can get you in and enter a site or set up a defense or force everybody back. Nightfall's great for that. So unfortunately, that was several ultimates for the side of Trinity Valley, but at least they have the rifles in hand. Again, this has just kind of spiraled out. Their economy's just been kind of yo-yoing this whole time, and down at 2 and 7, it's been struggling. It doesn't seem like it's going to recover anytime soon.
Oh, Big Sky,
no.
Yep, didn't commit fully to that peak, and Sakura's going to take that one. Tells him up, gets rid of Reflex. Tells him up right now is going to be trying to take showers. Is alone at the moment, but there are 2 players from Trinity Valley waiting for them.
You want to play? Let's
The rest of the unit is going to be going around to C site. But Hinata's going to rotate back around. There is a wall up. going to be really difficult for them to pass this one. Looking for any kinds of pick, but nobody will be home. Nezuko will pick up one on Sakura, making it a little bit easier. Magui is going to go for the res, though, on Reflex. Magui gets one. And, yep, toast him up. Gets two there.
The discipline fell apart there. They were playing nice and long, but CJ will come up. There's two for CJ. He's
and Spike.
Quiet, and usually first pick and Spike. So
Oh.
no, there goes CJ. Speaking of that, but it's still kind of open. It's still 1-2. The clutch is still live. So is that Juju? Is that going to be a clutch? We'll find out. Locations revealed, and there's the lurker just to follow it up. And this is going to be a tough entry while the tour de force is active.
Yep. But they do plant behind U-Haul. And you got to keep in mind, there is a tour de force in the hands of Hinata. Stingy's going to hold from showers. Hinata going to hold from long. The ball is in. Is that Juju's court?
Does Juju have any utility to even do anything about this? Not really,
Nope.
so we're just going to kind of hope that we don't get caught
Oh,
out.
the whiffed!
Misses the tour shot.
Oh, but not
there
the
it is.
fancy
Follows it.
follow-up.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Again, that's just a tough spot to be in. Like, that's what you were hoping for on the attack, was to draw out all that utility. You pulled it out, and that's what kept you up. And again, now that the economy has kind of hit the bottom, we're coming into the last round. So this is a big struggle point here for Trinity Valley. Their economy is just low. They've spent ults without really getting value, and it's just kind of been, just error. The errors kind of stacking up, mistakes just kind of hitting, and what seems like opportune moments of someone coming to life just kind of unfortunately hit there. And CJ, who was looking good initially, 7 and 8, now tied for that top slot on that side. Again, it's just been tough. And I got to shout it out. CJ has been the first death several times. We don't know what it would have happened, and we'll never know what would have happened had CJ survived into later rounds. Maybe some picks would have been made, but we'll never know. So keeping CJ in check has been clutch for Madison.
But us not knowing is by design, my friend. Here's the thing.
It's true.
These patient pushes from MC have been the reason CJ's gotten antsy and tried to push up too far. They've given themselves away in those situations. Oh my god, is that Juju so smart not shooting that? Oh, but it's coming back, and yeah, unfortunate for them. It tells him up. With some patience of his own, is going to secure a very good numbers advantage for his team. It is currently down to a 2v5. And you see what I mean there, dude? That's the big thing, Soev.
Yeah.
These patient pushes, like, okay, I'm going to let my util do the work for me. And when you are most vulnerable, that is when we pounce, that is when we strike. And that is why these retakes have been so difficult for TVCC because, again, they just lose numbers too quickly.
Yeah, they'll get antsy trying, like you said, they're getting antsy trying to find action, trying to see any picks. They're not playing to the slow pace that it is, and that's really been the story here. Has been Madison College controlling the pace of play here on this attack. So this team is a little bit built. We were talking about how this team was built more for defensive and slow play, and they are showing that. So I don't know how much easier it's going to get once they flip to defense. They are kind of built to do so. So 3 ultimates to 2. I expect all of them to come out here. And speaking of, there's a showstopper. CJ finds one right out the gate, finding their counterpoint and securing the dominant raise position here to open it up. But Magui finds a second. It looks like the defense showing up here. There's something to be had.
Yep, since you're going to avoid that pull, that is Spike. Big Sky and Hinata are the last 2 standing. This time a numbers advantage in the favor of Trinity Valley College.
I mean, if the other counter to a slower play is just to play hyper aggressively and force the issue. If they can't win if they don't set up. So forcing it before they got completely set up was a huge take. But Hinata has been looking good at hitting shots, and they don't have the information to figure out where they're sitting. So closing these walls in will be important. Shots fired. Big Sky's the winner on that side. So suddenly now it's a little bit less for the side of Trinity Valley.
And again, I mean, all this util, you got yourself a couple of smokes right there that they have to try to pass through. Reflex is holding that one down like a hawk. And again, there's only 30 seconds and an ult too, just to put some extra damage on the board. I like it. Has to clear. Clears 1, clears 2. Okay, hang on. But it's going to get cleared from the side. Yeah.
Okay.
You got to check your flank angles, my friend. And is that Juju is going to be securing that one for their round. Sakura as well. Okay, 3-9. This is a cursed number, my friend. This could be the sign that the winds are changing. And hey, change has been made, obviously. We're going to be seeing TVCC on offense this time around, as opposed to MC, who will be on defense.
I really want to see Trinity Valley make this more aggressive play. You have double duelist. You have the ability to enter. You have the ability to make this work. So I think the only way you really play against this and start to run this back in your favor is by playing aggressively and forcing the issue. The only way you're really going to start falling behind is if you let these smokes come in and start denying your sight lines, denying your ability to come in. So I want to see them push aggressively, use their information that they get, and communicate well to take these spawns. Because right now it's looking decisively in Madison's favor, especially given how static this comps can be.
All right, and Hinata's going to rotate away using that teleporter. Aggressive push coming in right now from Trinity Valley. This guy's going to fade back. A lot of smokes on this B site right now. A lot that needs to be cleared. Hinata's going to get pulled. He is marked and vulnerable at the moment. Reflex gets hit by 155 on them. 2 shots. Another one. Hinata picks up 2 so far. And it is simply Sakura, the last player standing.
Wow.
A flawless victory for MC, breaking the curse. 10-3 lead.
That's what I was afraid of, though. It's hard to play into this comp with Hinata absolutely looking phenomenal on this chamber at 19-5. Like, absolutely has been hitting shots. Yeah, I said that was and that nade kill through the teleport too, catching 2. That was powerful. That was some play that you kind of you attribute a little to luck, but also just the knowledge that, like, hey, they're probably sticking around and playing, thinking they're gonna follow us. So. Again, just this Madison College team looking very, very good and in control of this map. So they're looking good to close it out here.
Well, it looks like there's pretty positioned around A. They have to run into 3 players from MC in order to get around there, but Trinity Valley seems pretty capable on these aggressive pushes. Here's the thing, though. This double smoke is going to be very, very valuable on this site in particular, man.
Yeah. We saw it already, but Toast Him Up is also pretty viable. Does get sucked in, but meanwhile, there's 2 picks in the background. And I mean, Spike's down, but does it matter? Stingy is absolutely just having a field day. Comes in, gets a little too aggressive, and I mean, the 4v1 is going to require a miracle. Hinata with the Marshall just trying to buy some space and catches it. There it is. Yeah, it was over. This is just such a tough comp to play into, and they're really showing why they wanted to be here on Bind.
Well, you know, you have 2 duelists. Try to clear that up a little bit there. But it just seems like they're a little bit too close to the ground. You know, obviously you want to see Sakura probably try to get on top of things, divert guns away from your more vulnerable players on the team. And CJ, again, just running in too far out of position and dying too quickly. Yeah, getting kill hungry is a very good thing when you play a duelist. The problem is you get blood drunk sometimes. And from there, it all just kind of crumbles.
Yeah, the other part of that is you have to have the support from your team, right? It's okay to go in, but if you don't get traded out while you're searching for picks and you don't pick anything and you don't get one yourself, it was just a lost kill. But Hinata does not come up with anything there themselves, so she will get out, and this will be some utility spent on the B side just to try to dissuade that a little bit. The rotate will come through, and it looks like we're going to take another crack at this, Laird.
You know, sometimes just having the wherewithal to be like, all right, let's reposition a little bit. We don't need to play too aggressively right now. Let's move away. That's a really good thing. But then again, it wastes some precious time. About a minute left to try to secure the site. And then again, it is a 2-on-5, so it is very possible. But one of those is a controller that is very hard to contest, and that is Nezuko on the Viper. Oh, CJ! Yeah, he's going to get a couple hits on them, but then again, not enough. Sakura's going to fall. Nezuko and Stingy both picking up 1. Reflex is down as well. Man, 2 for both players on A site. They're worse for wear, but they only have 1 player left to contend with.
And this has kind of been the story, unfortunately, right? Is just seeing Trinity Valley just kind of fumble a little bit on these entrances. They'll poke, they'll not really find the information, and then be hesitant to really commit to anything. So that hesitancy then just gets punished by the side of Madison, and the Wolfpack just quite literally circles and feasts. So 13-2, looking to close it out. It's a half buy. It does not look good. There's not a lot in their toolboxes that they can use, so playing for picks is going to be the utmost importance here, and not committing to anything that they don't know enough of. But it's the way it is sometimes. Speaking of that, there is an early shot from Hinata. That's not a good start.
Hinata did not stop walking quick enough, so some of their bullets went a little bit astray. Didn't quite find the mark there. Everyone else is going to be on C long. A couple shots coming through the wall right now. Nada and Blue Sky, or sorry, Big Sky rather, holding down the site. He is not going to get grabbed. Is going to get 2 for his troubles though. Spike is down. Only 2 players left staying for Trinity Valley Community College. All right, and Reflex is down too. Last man standing. It will be CJ, who's hanging out in the teleporter at the moment.
Yeah. It is unfortunately probably going to be the end of Bind here once they kind of figure out where CJ's hiding. So
oh my!
Finds the one that will get followed up. Yeah, there's the wall bang through it. So that will be unfortunately the end of map 1. And I mean, Madison College looking pretty good to open this up here. So it's hard to say, right? This is a new squad at Trinity Valley. There's some growing pains to be had. It's been had in the season, but they put up a good show, all things considered. There were moments where they looked really good. They just kind of need to tighten up a lot of these pieces going into map 2, and we can see us going to 3.
Well, again, some adjustments, regardless, will need to be made. But while those adjustments are going to be in the works, our next map coming up is going to be, as if I remember correctly,
it is Breeze.
Breeze. Well, while we get the map set up and everything, and these teams discuss some of the difficulties they had and some potential ways to move around it, we're going to be going to a quick little bit of a break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes as we set all that stuff up. But hey, folks, don't go nowhere. We got a lot more Valorant action on our return.
What capacity, given how well you perform in those scenarios. So the West was very lacking in all of this, and culturally to do the same things and try to replicate the B house environment or what they do in China or Taiwan would not be possible to do. But the West has a very successful model of developing sports and talent, especially in America, when that is in the collegiate space. So I looked at this, I saw the resources that was available, and when then when Clerky pitched his vision to me, it's like, yeah, this is what I think should be the future for development in the any ecosystem for esports.
Oh, right on. I think maybe let's follow up on that a little bit then. Because Dan, okay, so Dan, you pick up Jensen, you've got this going. I think that's going to be my question then is, or to any other schools that want to be competitive like you guys on that level, is this something that we should be expecting to see in the future, right? Is this now, the standard that you guys, Jensen, you and Dan, do you guys feel that this, if every college across the nation starts doing this, if they start, recruiting coaches like Jensen and trying to build this atmosphere, is this going to be the next standard, or is this something that's very successful that obviously it's proven to work, but is it sustainable? Is it possible for everyone, or maybe not everyone, but right, the greater sense of the industry and the ecosystem? How do you guys feel about that?
It's a dream of mine, obviously, to get to a point in the future where every university has an esports team that's taken seriously, and every day they report to practice. It's an improvement-driven mindset across the whole program. I think for me though, like the reason isn't necessarily like to see like a March Madness with millions of dollars flowing through it. For me, it's a little bit more simpler than that. The reason why this is my vision is just because it's best for player development and just players in general. What we see in tier 2 ecosystems almost across the industry, that's like below academy, I would say, like right before you, I would consider academy professional, because you're making a higher salary than exists in a lot of semi-pro sports actually. But in the tier 2 ecosystem, you kind of go from like your parents' bedroom making no money on a Discord server with a coach that hasn't been certified by any national body, to playing academy, and that's horrifying to me. So while I don't see collegiate as being, or maybe it does end up being this way, but it doesn't have to be the definitive path to pro. I want it to at least be an option, like a parallel option, similar to how you can go through the Canadian hockey system, where you can choose to spend a couple extra years developing and maturing physically and emotionally in the NCAA model before you go to the show in the NHL. I'd like to see that reality in esports. This isn't something where there's a century of history to the competition. So it's a very powerful tool, especially when you're trying to convince your parents that this is a worthwhile pursuit, that you can get a college degree. And it's one of those things where, at least in America, with how expensive college is, getting scholarships after your first after like your 18 to 20-year-old years is usually harder academically. You usually get the majority of your scholarships going into school when you're an 18-year-old freshman, and the way that the current path to pro is set up, a lot of players are foregoing that span of time to try to go pro for no pay. And so for me, it's more about like a health of a pipeline, health of the ecosystem, health of kind of the player experience of pursuing this, and that's the big thing for me. And obvious it's a dream. I want Maryville to serve as like a case study and a model for that. We want to show results. We want to eventually be competing to win proving grounds, to show that this can be a functional alternative to the traditional tier 2 within esports, and that's what we strive for every year.
And I can add to that a little bit, just from a business perspective. I think, we're very fortunate to have Jensen and Dan here at Maryville, but I think if you're a university looking at, just adding a coach, maybe not to the magnitude of Jensen, but I think you have to look at the metrics. I think if you look at what the ROI and the business case of adding relevant esports within your university, what that means to your student life and all those different things, all those things that they try to check boxes within higher ed. I think having a relevant esports program or a relevant system within esports, every university should be looking at it, because their baseball players and their basketball players and football players are all playing gaming. And a lot of these esports, figureheads and coaches, etc., are the relevant people in digital media. And it helps the school with a brand perspective. And I think just having any sort of relevant and adding bodies within the esports ecosystem at universities, you have 2 or 3 basketball coaches, you have 2 or 3 soccer coaches, both on male and female. I think having relevancy within esports, it has probably a 15 to 25x, return versus like traditional sports. And I can say that with my background and everything like that, and just knowing how we look at it. But at the same time, if you're not looking at esports as a relevant, not even revenue stream, but relevant digital eyeball within your sports and student life perspective, I think you are sort of behind the times.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact,
https://twitter.com/Septilence. Don't put that in, I'll get in trouble. So that's worth it. Did I get too close to the camera on that one? A little bit too close? Should I back up a little bit? Okay, sorry about that. My bad. I've been awake for probably close to 32 hours. Like, I have to hold my keyboard the normal way, because if I do it, I feel like I have arthritis and I hold my keyboard like that. It blows my mind. I can never do that. This guy right here, he's got his keyboard off at an angle. His isn't that extreme. There's a kid all the way down on the far end who has his keyboard all the way at a horizontal. That's really cool. They're going to be at that table right over there. Public information? Oh, I don't know. This isn't live, so it doesn't matter. It's not live, but you and I know. Yeah, we know. I'm not going to tweet it. Awesome. What game do you play?
Smash Bros.
Who do you play? Is it embarrassing? Is it like Villager?
Yeah.
Is it Villager? Am I spot on? Oh my god. Is it the Ice Climbers?
No.
Is it Game & Watch?
No.
Is it...
Hey everyone, welcome back to some more collegiate esports action here on Esports U. This is a Valorant match between MC as well as TVCC. I'm Laird, he's Soav, and we've got ourselves a game 2 coming up here.
Yeah, game 2 between Trinity Valley Community College and Madison College, the Wolfpack.
The Pack.
We're going to the Pack, as it were. Well, the Pack is in the lead. They're leading the way. I mean, they're 1-0. We're going to map 2 here. It's Breeze. It's Madison's pick. So they are looking pretty strong. They have to be feeling confident about this. And after that first game with that double controller, I don't blame them. That was a very good-looking comp, good-looking setup, and they controlled that game very well. So I expect they know exactly what they want to do here going into Breeze.
Absolutely, and it's not just controlling the sites or controlling, in general, by definition in the game. It's controlling the tempo, and that's the thing that the Pack does better than anyone else. They always secure themselves a numbers advantage on sites. They always secure themselves really, really good positioning. And I'd say it's more of a ratty style of gameplay if I was less informed, Because the thing is, they just make a lot of really good decisions. They hide behind walls perfectly. They have all their flanks covered by the rest of their team. And if anyone embodies the term pack, it is definitely Madison College.
Agree. They play as a team and as a unit, and they're doing that. Big Sky just continues to tease me with that Harbor. Man, one day he's going to press that button, and one day it'll bring me joy, but today's probably not that day. I do like the KOs, though. This is so big. This is such a map where that knife can just find so much information. I do like it. I also like finally matching the chamber. CJ, however, picking up on that. I was on Breeze last time swatching over to that. I think that's a reasonable take. It's good to put your best shooter on that Sentinel, so I do like it. The rest of the comp from the side of Trinity, about what I would expect. They're looking at double initiator, and that's about what I would have expected here. But now that Madison's finally locked in, these are looking pretty similar comps. The Yoru is the interesting one that stands out to me. That one, I'm not quite sure, but there's going to be some shenanigans on the side of Madison here with that Yoru in play.
Right. Well, I mean, you're going to be able to get past your own smokes pretty well. That flash going from the floor up is going to be really cool to get through those walls, and obviously, being able to reposition yourself at a moment's notice is going to be really, really big for Madison. But we are starting off here on Breeze. A lot of, I think this map's pretty epitomized by that open middle. Nest is a really strong position to hold. You can go from mid to either site as you please. And on top of that, these are just some really fun sites with a lot of natural cover, and they're big sites in general. B's might be a little bit smaller, but again, considering you could shoot there from mid and from spawn, it's a really fun site to contest. And A, obviously, is one of the most fun sites in the entire game to hold.
I agree completely. I think you nailed it there. Valorant has a great design philosophy of making mid very, very important to hold and maintain control of. So I'm really going to be keeping an eye on from both these teams to see who vies for this kind of center control space. Because like you said, it gives you so much access to both sites and so much, especially once you get to the mid to late rounds where you get ops in hands and things like that. The other thing I'm going to keep an eye out for are these chambers. These chambers are going to get so much value with all the space they have to play in. The quick rotations you can still get because of those teleports are going to be so important. And given all those factors, and considering how close together these comps pretty much are, only those duelist differences, it's going to come down to the Yoru versus the Jet play. And Sakura already trying to put some bullets out there, but will get caught. So Zuko going to step up and find a molly. But meanwhile, on the back end, there is going to be some picks from the side of Trinity Valley.
Yeah, that's an important thing. And hey, it's down to a 3v2. Defenders currently stalling for time as best they can. Seji's doing a good job holding mid, but then again, Hinata's on top of that pyramid, is going to find a pick. Magui's going to pick up the spike.
They don't know she's there. They don't know she's there. So it's going to be dangerous to walk into that. They know the danger is there, though. But the question is when does Stingy make this approach and just try to get value? Because he has to know. No, he's darting the wrong way, so he apparently doesn't know they're in mid. That's actually really lucky for Trinity then.
He did give up mid. However, they are retreating, actually, and it will be Nezuko who finds them for the pack. And going to pull out the knife, run away a little bit as their twin is hanging out on top of the pillar, still has not repositioned yet.
Yeah, finally they finally see the rotation will come through. So let's see if Stingy gets the call and the information that is coming their way.
Well, he does now.
Knife. Oh, now he does. Now he's suppressed. He does.
He's like, oh, geez.
Yeah, they don't know he's there. Just blend. Oh no! Eventually gets caught out. CJ will find one, and Spike is down. 2-3 on the retake though.
Interesting. I think CJ switching over to the chamber is a big deal because that's going to hold back his range a little bit. Chamber's a character you really can't play super aggressively because he doesn't have access to a lot of movement unless he gets set up first.
Yeah, agreed.
So that's probably going to make him play a little bit more slow just in nature. Because one of the things he did was rush in a little bit too much.
Yeah, but he's not getting punished. I mean, he has Hinata is looking for a little bit more here. Doesn't really have the information. Will eventually get caught. Catches one though, so the run back is real. But I don't know that there's going to be the time. Yeah, there's that second buzzer. It's just a question of who can she take down on the way out here.
She wasted a lot of money, but yep. And she is going to run away. Actually, no, she's not. Wow. She's just going to take it. Loses a little bit more money. She spent 3 headhunter shots, 150 each, folks. So that's 450. And also, she got rid of her ghost by dying.
I mean, it's just simple math. It's easy math 101 with Laird. That's just economics, baby. Like, that's just too easy.
Yeah, man. What do you think my major is?
Yeah, for real. I'm here for economics 101 with Laird. So,
I'm
but
actually
the economics
a major. I can't do math.
Fair enough. But hey, I mean, the economics are on the side of Trinity Valley here. And for, we saw this earlier. They started off strong. They hit a first couple good pistol rounds, and they weren't just quite able to capitalize off of that. So now with guns in hands, the economy on their side, this could continue to roll their way.
Yep, you got to clear quickly now. We'll get suppressed a little bit so that the Ashes, thankfully they put it up early, but CJ right now is trying to look for a peek in tunnel. They're not going to find anybody. And Ada now in a different position, not on top of the pyramid this time with a Marshall. Waiting for anyone to peek out of cave.
They'll get out. They'll go to dodge. They don't have enough information. They
Wait a
can't tell
second.
anything. Yeah, the rotation's through. They know everybody's there. They know they have the information. They don't have enough information to engage on it, so they're just going to rotate. I like it. It's a smart call.
This is going to be a 5-man site here. Or a 4-man, actually. They did get picked early.
Juju's going to send that recon dart out, find no one home. So, yeah, they'll get the spike down, and now the rest of the information will be there. I wish, I'd say CJ will find one, too. Just lurking from that flank. Yeah, this is great. They have this great space control. They just need to maintain it going into this last bit of spike time.
Oh, the pack is on the hunt. Reflex is going to drop a smoke there. Hills him up right now. Going to throw in that Yaru flash, but is going to get hit a little bit for 20. It's going to let Juju get that kill a lot easier with the Spectre. Big Sky right now. Stingy has Juju pinned. If Juju takes a step back, they might be in trouble, but still waiting around with Reflex. Big Sky is on site. Is going to be going for a defuse. Juju has to peek now.
Great
Stingy's
bait.
going to pick him up.
Great bait.
Really, really good stuff. But Sakura's going to clear from sight. Has to move, but actually is just going to take the bomb. Despite the fact that they have Spectre, they don't have enough time to get out of there. And Stingy is going to die as well. 2 straight wins for Trinity Valley College.
I mean, it cost you a lot. You managed to only really keep one person alive and keep one gun, but, that's a good start. You'll take that, I think, if you're the side of Trinity Valley. So up 2-0, it's a little bit tougher now that rifles are in their side. But
Okay.
sorry about that. Now that the rifles are on their side, it's back to kind of 0 here. So it's going to be tough because Hanada has looked very good with those guns regardless across the board. So the gunplay is going to be the primary here. Whoever can keep these picks rolling will continue to maintain control. And again, this early aggressive mid-control taken by the defense is going to be very, very good. It'll close the walls in on Trinity Valley quicker than they realize.
Yeah, but they are in tunnel right now. CJ's going to get one. And they are on site
Yeah, they're in.
with a 5-3 advantage. Trinity Valley, this was Madison's pick, if I'm not mistaken, right?
This was Madison's pick. They knew what they wanted to do here. So Trinity putting through the runs on this, and Reflex finding one, continuing just to bring this home.
Stingy right now looking for anyone to peek. He's going to be going for that recon dart. Jumps over the box. Get a nice shot. He's going to get destroyed. Misses Sakura. And Sakura's going to pick him up. Is flash. Fires through the blind, but Big Sky's going to pick one up anyway. Sakura now on bomb. Juju gets picked off. Big Sky still holding. Still holding.
It's over.
Sakura.
Oh,
No, actually picks him up. Hang on. Doing cave.
There's no time, though.
No time.
There's
They
no
have the bomb.
time. Yeah,
Oh, you're not
they
going
bought
look
him the
quicker,
time.
Picks up the eye. I like it. That was inspired.
We know what we're really here for. Yeah, we know what we're here for. We're here for the swag, so I respect that.
And just like that,
yeah,
the pack currently down by the margin of matches they lost the entirety of last map.
Yeah, they're already in a great position to where they are, and the picks have started to work in their favor. They've kind of gotten control of the pace of their own stunning. I like a lot of these changes that have come in for Trinity Valley, and they're getting control of the game at their pace. And again, I don't know if it's maybe because they're just matched, maybe they both had the same idea, but they definitely just seem to be coming out ahead in picks here.
I think KO's just really been the trick, man. It's been opening up a lot of opportunities. You're getting intel, not letting the rest of the pack use their util very well. While they have one of their own, I feel like TVCC is getting a lot more mileage off of their KO play.
They will, but the question is the information they're getting any more value? Then CJ is continuing to find value again and again. That's about their third opening first blood. So looking to look good. And now that they've been spotted on this rotation, the pack is ready to circle and start to find a way in here. Oh, catches one. Great shot from the KO.
You separate yourself from your team. That's what happens, man. Reflex isn't going to
Yeah.
inspect that, but I think Nezuko in a very good position. Big Sky is going to get recon bolted. Nada is going to be holding for backside. Magui right now trying to take center. Recognizes there is nobody nest. However, Stingy's going to look away at just the wrong time. But Nezuko's going to trade there. 3v3. TVCC with a little bit less health.
30 seconds
CJ
left.
got lit up just a little bit. Reflex now has a peek. Nezuko, though, one of the better shooters on TVCC. Gonna throw out a flash, probably. Reflex is going to readjust. Nezuko, gonna peek behind the box. Gets hit a little bit. Nothing lethal, though. As the rest of the team is going to try to secure B, but Big Sky is there. They don't have a lot of time, though, and they're going to go for the plant. Big Sky, are they going to peek? They're going to peek the wrong way. They didn't realize that they were already planting, but
One enemy
the Molly's going to go on site.
Ooh.
TJ is down, as is that knife. Yep.
There it is.
The pack is going to secure their first map, or the first round of the map, rather.
This is kind of what happened last time too, though, right? Is like once rifles started to get into hands of Madison, it started to hit a little bit differently. They started to keep CJ in check, and that was kind of the end of the story here. And CJ still sitting up at 5-2, has a tour de force, has looked good for the side of Trinity Valley, but the other part of this equation is that Big Sky picked up several there and has come to life, and the rest of the team of the pack is starting to put it together too, especially now that they have guns in hand. They can start to buy for each other. And now the ultimates too, suppression's available if they need it. So it's just looking like those, it's kind of a little bit of either way. The 4 out of the 5 ultimates for the side of Trinity Valley are good, but we've seen them hold. So making sure they actually get use and value out of them is going to be important going into these next rounds.
Big Star right now is going to make it a little bit more difficult to trespass into B. However, Sakura is going to get rid of Stingy. Nezuko's going to trade out. Nezuko always got Stingy's back. However, is going to get flashed by Magui.
No.
Magui is going to pick up that stock, or that kill, before the ghost comes out and the flash comes out either.
Mid control is lost to the defenders, but Hinata is still alive and still there to click, so she will come up with 1, and this rotation onto the A site is probably going to be met. There is the fake Yoru. Does he get shot? No, it just keeps walking past.
Keeps on walking,
let him
baby.
keep it rolling. Yeah. And there's the Yoru ultimate. Will dimensional drift it around and just see what they can find before Toast pops out. Hinata finds 1 off screen, so still in their favor. No spike down. This is looking good for the defense.
TVCC, they do have the tour de force still. Has not reared its ugly head yet. But is that Juju has an ult of their own. If they want to use it, they get blinded from the top, but Toast him up is not going to see them. Oh, peeks. Juju knows where they are now.
I mean, it's just tough because no one's got the information to know. Nobody wants to commit to anything. We'll kind of just fire off into the distance and see if maybe we can get somebody. We heard the spike go down. Toast him up will be the lucky one to find something. And again, now it's going to be even more difficult, and the defense will come up with a win likely here. And CJ just has to come up for value. No one's going to poke a tour de force. I can't imagine that.
Yeah, actually, Hinata's the only one with the brazenness to do so, and she's going to pick it up with just a Vandal, and now she has a tour de force of her own in the back pocket. And the rifles are still going to be maintained by the pack.
Yeah, this is starting to see shades of map 1 again, and that's just very, very unfortunate. So, again, they just need to start. They just need to see discipline, right? We're kind of at the point where we can force a buy, we can buy for our teams, but this has to be it. And then we need to commit, if we're the side of Trinity, to a full stop. Just hold our economy. Let's get back and checked, because the 2 ultimates they have really don't have that much, and that's an early Viper's Pit from Big Sky just to put a block on B. So now this is going to make this even harder. So getting value of those ultimates is going to have to be, if you commit them, has to be important.
Juju's going to drone, but I don't think they were able to see quite exactly where the Viper was. Big Sky's going to pick up Juju for their troubles too. And that is Spike. It is in the pit, folks.
Pit. Oh boy, that's not where you want it to be. That's the worst case scenario right here, because now it's just out of your hands. You can free fire in, but you're probably not going to find anything. So we'll eventually see that. Nezuko going to hold the Engo, not quite really get anything, but does at least have a little bit of information, and the space that's there is slowly getting taken away from that mid.
Magui now, flanked by Reflex. Gonna try to fight their way in. Uses the knife, but it will get destroyed. The Viper Pit will remain standing. Magui gets picked off now. This guy's gonna hop out just to reload. TJ now, gonna get picked too. They get flashed. And right in the face of Reflex. Toss him up. Is going to get the pick alongside Big Sky. Remains atop of the kill count for the pack.
I mean, Big Sky putting in the work here. I believe we saw them on the Brimstone last round, and looking here, obviously playing these controllers very, very well. So deservedly, 8-2 has been playing very, very smart across with their teams. So rifle still in hand, no need for a tour de force. Suppression might come out if we get a little bit of a tough spot. So it's going to fall onto Trinity Valley to make do, and they are... I really wish we weren't committing to this half buy. I really wish we had just kind of opted into like a save or you know, maybe one rifle in the hands of somebody and just save everything else. But I'm not sure on this half buy yet. It might come back to haunt them.
Soccer in tunnels. Actually going to reposition. No, not enough. Stingy's going to pick up their second kill of the map so far. Spike is down. Is that Juju on the blind? And I was going to pick him up. Molly comes out from Nezuko. The twins now starting to pursue. Nada's going to break right through on the chamber. Looking for more. Gonna get one.
Ooh.
Double toasting, and yep, that is it. A flawless victory for the pack. They smelled blood and they jumped on it.
Yeah, and this is starting to... We're starting to see it. It's starting to happen again, Laird. We're starting to see just things start to slowly spiral out of control. But the good thing to it all is that for the side of Trinity Valley, they are managing to get rifles back in hands. They have ultimates on board. And again, it's really hard, right? Because Juju is 1-7, has been holding that ultimate for like the right moment, hasn't really been able to commit it. They haven't really been able to get spikes down. They've been hitting a lot of first bloods on their side. So it just kind of small things that stack up against them and really forcing them to kind of keep a lot of these things that could work in their favor held. So Stingy will look, find a dart, and it doesn't catch anybody, so great shooting there, but they have to be, they're at least aware that there's presence on that mid.
Well, here comes Stingy now. And we going low with the drone, actually. I like it. And it will find Sakura, but a pick is going to come out anyway. I believe that is CJ who is down. Again, CJ dying early does not bode well for Trinity Valley. Reflex,
Ooh.
Flanked by Magui, are going to double peek on the toast him up. He's down, but Stingy's going to trade. Look at Big Sky now. Big Sky's actually going to try to contest tunnel, but Sakura's going to pick up one on Nezuko. Nice flick there from Pack. Stingy.
Ooh.
Big Sky, they get rid of Juju, and that is down. Yes.
It's unfortunate because we're not seeing a lot of the information gathering that we're used to seeing. Like Trinity Valley was able to get information, kind of win a couple of these pistol rounds and then use that to their advantage, and that advantage is slowly just getting lost to time and to rounds. And here we are again, we're back on like a half buy or some kind of force commit. It's such a tough piece because you don't have everybody getting ultimates together. Your first 3 rounds were looking good, but the rest of it can't be. And they're losing control of the pace of the game. So just kind of getting control of this pace again from Trinity Valley, playing a little bit different. We haven't seen many defaults even. They're kind of just 5-stacking this and hoping somebody can double swing and get a pick. So a little bit more information from the general wider sense might do them some favor, as Big Sky, Big Sky's over on this B site. They're able to leave it down and just keep this site unlocked. So it's hard to go into that.
Honestly, just rotate everyone. Bring the entire pack over to B except for Hinata. Hinata can pretty much hold A just by herself.
Yeah. I agree.
Seems like that's what everyone's doing. Actually, they're going to full rotate here. Big Sky clearly spooked at the moment. Not trying to peek anything.
Not when you know the whole team's there. Like, that's a rough place to be in. Yeah. We're good. Sometimes we're good, but we're not 1v5 good, right? We can make that work.
Wait. Look at Nezuko, bottom of the map right now.
Ooh.
Coming up on the team's backside.
The deep flank. I love it.
The sleeping demon on the hunt right now.
Not where I would have expected it, but I do like it.
Has to avoid the trademark. Magui now is down.
Great shot.
Nezuko on the flank. Has been successful so far. Boom, gets another one. Wow, and as we were looking away from the rest of the action, the pack is going to claw and tear and take everyone up. A second flawless in a row.
That is... Yeah, again, they've just been able to slowly control the pace. They've been able to use these controllers to buy the time and the energy to set up the rest of these things. And again, when you get antsy, you're not paying attention to your flanks. You start to make small critical errors, but all it takes in this game is one error to be capitalized on, and that's kind of what happened. No one had sights on mid. No one really was able to turn around and keep an eye on the rest of the team. So Trinity Valley just kind of hitting that wall again and again and again. History repeats. We're at a half buy. We're kind of forcing. We haven't really thrown our ultimates anything to swing anything in our favor, and the economy for Madison will continue to grow. The Wolfpack gets richer, but CJ has something to say about that.
CJ found the weakness there. Hinata up on the box is only going to get one. This push onto A has so far been successful. Toast him up right now. Can't see past that Viper wall. CJ is coming in from main, so he's got to watch his flanks really well.
It's a tough place to be. That will be the Hunter's Fury. Looking, can't find anything. Tried to aim for the spike, couldn't really get it, but the numbers are on the side of the attackers here, 4-2, and I don't think Stingy has a drone, so any amount of information could be good gain here.
But CJ and Big Sky have CJ between them.
Oh.
Okay, hang on. Okay. CJ's down, as is Magui. It's only Juju and Reflex left standing. Reflex has the lineup, it looks like.
The lineup. The lineup is live.
Is it going to hit? It does.
Oh, that's tragic.
Big Sky.
Great lineup.
Well, he burnt his ult, but he did it well, and that's going to be a 4th round for Trinity Valley. Finally stopping the momentum of the pack.
Yeah. That's the value I wanted to see. Like, that Hunter's Fury didn't look like it got a lot of value, but it did exactly what you needed it to do, right? Between that and the lineup, you bought the time that you needed, and is that Juju just having a rough game? Like 1-9, that's just, played very well in that first game, but just hasn't really seen that light again. But got to shout it out because ooh.
Wait, I didn't know this existed. Lemon.
I didn't know this was here.
My God.
That's fascinating.
There's a bear in there. He's hibernating.
What is? I mean, the game. Look, I don't know what that was, so I'm just gonna say that it's still anybody's moment right here. Now that we've started to see some value out of Trinity College's ults, it looks good. But Toast 'em Up is not going to be outdone. We'll take an op shot and we'll hold on B.
Yep. And I was gonna reposition now. Just gonna spray through the wall. Probably gets a couple there. Trinity Valley down a man right now. TJ gonna pick up Hinata. That's a big one. The duel between those two has been one of the biggest things that's been going on in this particular round.
Yeah.
Those chamber really fights have been so
important. Yeah, Nezuko going in, but the Yoru looking for anything just to try to buy the rest of that information. We kind of give Yoru a bad rep around, but the ultimate can do nothing if not tell you everything you need to know information-wise. The defenders will get it. And again, that's where the CJ will fall in the end, giving Toast 'em Up a 3. We're looking at the 11. We're looking at the 8-4 half, and this is just kind of history repeating itself here, Laird. Like, we're seeing a strong opening from this community college side just kind of crumble.
I mean, they do seem to be very good at those pistol rounds, probably because of the aim and the maneuverability of Sakura, as well as CJ and his ability to just pick up shots on a whim too. The thing is, once they fall off, once their opponents start to outbeat them in the economy game, it becomes a lot more difficult for them.
It is the tour de force and the suppression. They're looking to not let this get closed out. Viper's Pit too. This might be a little bit of everything, too much case of just everything all at once. That might be too much. But Big Sky is caught out there trying to find the rotation. So now in the pit, there it goes.
Oh,
Toast them up.
Got 3K right now, and Sakura's the last player standing. And
there it is.
A 4K for Toast 'em Up. He's going to secure victory for the pack. 8-4. A little bit less of a margin of their lead at this point during the last map on Bind. But again, let's see how Trinity Valley can work around this switch.
I mean,
on the offensive side of things, obviously we know the pack is really good on the defensive side of things.
Yeah.
But on offense, their tempo game is unparalleled.
Yeah, agreed. They absolutely know how to set the pace and play it at their level. So if there's any chance of bringing this to a map 3, you cannot let them run this at the pace they want. You need to put your foot down and just kind of get this pack of wolves under control, quite literally in a lot of ways. So There'll be a quick look at the A site. The Yoru clone will come through. We take some shots, so now we know they're there. But it's not enough to create an interest, but I do like the presence there. That's still keeping the pressure, still keeping them guessing. Big, smart play from them.
Yeah, it's just Toast 'em Up who's right there, too. So people think there's a lot more people on A than there actually are, and yep, the late rotation is going to allow the plant to get down. However, bit of a trade. Big Sky's going to pick up 2. Sakura's going to get rid of Toast. The main duelist is down from MC right now.
But it's still a 4-3. It's a tough retake. The Sova Dart needs to get some sort of information, and they're all playing from the same side. And I say that, but we're already down. Make that 1-. We'll have a trade out. Mizuka will fall, but Juju just has to come up big, and didn't really get a lot of information from that dart here.
Yeah. Oh, Stingy, you gotta clear that angle, man. Big Sky alongside Stingy are gonna secure that kill. An excellent pinch to win the day for Madison. And Madison has some econ coming their way now as we move into the next round of competition. Ball is in your court if you are part of this Trinity Valley squad.
The pack smells the blood in the water here, and they're feeling confident if they don't even fully. They're looking. I think they'll slowly buy up, but they're not even really committing. You see the Bulldog, even there, just a little bit harder. They're willing to. They smell the blood. They're ready to close this out. And Sakura with this Marshall just gonna keep a lock. I have to say, the angles that they've been hosting and like keeping an eye on have just been very, very good, all things considered. They've not really won the gunfights, but the angles that they're trying to keep control of have worked in their favor. They just need to win the gunfights out.
Sakura and Toast, this duel right now, it's a game of chicken. Who will say Uncle first? Escapes the flash. Toast 'em Up is going to try to open the door in the meantime, but Nezuko is going to pick one up. 2 up, actually. Reflex and Magui both down. Trinity Valley at the numbers disadvantage. Toast 'em Up got around Sakura in a big way. Flashes up.
Ooh.
He's going to take the rope, but didn't get the flash. However, is still going to win the gunfight.
One enemy remaining.
Some trickery there coming through in a big way.
That's the Yoru for you, right? You're able to play around and get that. So Toast 'em Up now, picking up just the other rifle. They don't know where CJ is, though. So maybe you can get an exit pick here, but I don't think the 1v5 is live just based on history here.
Oh, but he's running now. Doesn't realize that Toast is there. All right, bit of a trade, but it will be Toast 'em Up to take that one. Securing the round. Now, the way Toast 'em Up used their util with there is actually genius. So taking Tunnel away from a Marshall, what he did is he threw out his clone, all right? It was an obvious clone, but he hid behind it anyway, so that gave him some natural cover. On top of that, he used it to buy some space to get around. But what you guys might not have seen was that he threw out the teleport behind it as well. So he was able to get right behind Sakura, go for the flank, reposition behind them on the rope, go for a little tricky flash, and distract them. And that was how he was able to pick that one up. So it's just a really bit of fun play to cut out the only gun on the team for Trinity Valley.
I mean, that's the kind of play that Toast has been making on Yoru, right? Like, Yoru has been picking and getting value on this Yoru in a situation where you may not consider it to be a high-value pick. A lot of people downplay. We haven't quite figured out the best use for the Yoru, but it's getting some great use. But CJ will find a value and get traded out there. So, again, these kinds of fraggers just continue to pop up in the kill feed, and that's the case. Toasty's still live over on this, but the duelist from the Jet on the other side is still live too. Sakura's just looking to see if anybody's there. Is caught out. Will eventually trade with the Guardian, though. Great flick and great look to catch Big Sky. It's still anybody's moment here. Stingy finds one off screen, though, so anything's possible here, Laird.
Even game, we might see another duel between Sakura and Toast. Time will tell who comes out on top of it first. Toast is going to throw out the teleporter so they can reposition after they snag bomb. Sakura's holding down the wrong angle. And it seems like a bit out of position is Juju, not able to help out Sakura. It will be a 2-on-1. Even though Stingy's at low health, the Guardian's going to pick that one up. However, it will be Stingy with 19 health remaining and a Guardian in hand now. Who's going to be maneuvering around at the moment. Has a Vandal too. Is that Juju right now on B? He could not be more blind here. His full send Stingy is going on to A site for the plant. Only has 19 health, does not care.
10 seconds left.
I mean, if they kind of know where it is, they'll get the plant down. Eventually, the call will be made of, oh, it has to be on A. Spike went down. Great. It's so hard not to Oh, and sending in the drone early is a bit tragic because they'll find out there's no one here, but know that they are coming. So, I mean, a single tap is all it's
Race
going
the
to take.
recon too.
Oh, this does not look good.
Hang on, he
all
only
it's
has
gonna take
19
is-
health too. You got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, he's got one bullet away, so this is going to be a duel for the ages on this moment.
A precious time being wasted at the moment. And it seems like he knows he has to waste time. He's looking the wrong way as Juju. He's got to move now. And it will be a one-tap headshot from Stingy. 19 health hero to secure the round for his team. 11-4 in favor of the pack.
That was quite a heroic play from Stingy there to catch their counterpart. And yeah, I mean, they smell the blood. They're ready to close this out. 2 ultimates. They'll have the dimensional rift, and they'll have suppression. So a full stack of rifles plus all the utility to take space and find out anything they need to. They might even just save it to close it out, because if they've been keeping an eye on anything, they should know that there's nothing on the side of Trinity Valley. And yeah, they'll do this quick. The aggressive play from Magui. Magui, where are you going, my guy?
Right into the raiding arms of Hinata, it seems like. Watch us through the smoke now. All right, Yaru's back. Hello. Juju's going to pick up Big Sky. That's a big one. The control is down for the pack. The Stingy is going to pick up Juju for his troubles. Tells him up right now.
Oh, that's great.
Running around corners, it looks like.
That was a great Yoru fake, by the way. Just pretended to be the clone to get that space across, and Toasty will pick one up for there. Toasty absolutely clearly knows what they're doing on this Yoru, so you got to be aware of that. Reflex not quite there with the reflexes. We'll eventually get traded by Hinata, and I mean, this is looking like it's going to be a strong attack here. There it is.
Look down for potential rats, I suppose.
To avoid the headshot, I think was the call there. Just try not to. Just thought they heard it. I think they were trying to duck out of the way to avoid
crouch.
the headshot, maybe.
I mean, looking down takes your gun away from the opponent.
I calls it like a sees it, Laird. I don't know what they're actually. I don't read minds. I just take guesses. But the only thing I do know for certain here is that it's match point, and it's a tough spot to be in for Trinity Valley because they have to put everything out here. They have one ultimate, and it's so hard to look at this, and you know, Magui even pulling out the Odin, just gonna play aggressively, try to take the space and find anything. This is such a tough do or die map here. Whoa.
3 players in the middle, nobody on A site. Looks like they might just out-tempo themselves on 14. 4 players in mid now. Trademark is gonna go off. Big teleport there. Hinata. Looking for anyone. Magui with the spray. Now it's just like, oh, okay, buddy. Oh, he's gonna get picked up though. Sakura is gonna make it a numbers advantage. However, 2 ults now, a Viper's Pit as well as a suppression. The null command.
Okay.
Wait.
That's big. That's huge. That
Sakura,
Odin shot was huge.
They get traded. It is just Stingy, last man standing. Magui's
The
gonna spray
Odin,
on him. Okay.
the running gun Odin. The running gun
Magui,
Odin keeps him alive.
The player who has died every single consecutive round leading up to this one is going to be the hero, picking up 3 kills with that Odin.
Oh goodness!
And as you can see, yep, 16 deaths on them as well as Sakura, but only those 16 because they were able to win that last round alive.
Look, Laird. Not all heroes wear capes. Sometimes heroes carry Odins, and Magui is absolutely the hero for this round. It's still match point though, so they just need to keep up their heroics here. They will have suppression, and that goes great with an Odin. If they can't escape and move from you, that's a good tool to get into that. Meanwhile, on the other side, they spent most of the tools there. They only have the Hunter's Fury, and that's only really good if they can find the information to go with it. But this quick rush on A site, again, they're just going to play the retake here. So who even – oh, Toast.
I love Toast. I love you, Toast.
I respect that. I respect that so hard.
Wait,
that's commitment.
Juju definitely thought he saw him in the thing, but oop. Excellent pickup there by the team. Nice.
Spikes down.
Magui's coming in. Oh, is down the null command. Not enough to save them. 2 players left standing, assuming they don't get the res. Toast them up. CJ's going to pick up 2 with the Tour de Force. Stingy's going to wait for him to die. By Magui. And it is just Reflex. Last player standing. Last round here. Toast him up. Only 1 tap away. Gonna get shocked there for 36. Stingy below him. Nice reposition. Stingy there. Oh, is going to pick him up at just the wrong time. 2 more rounds taken this time by Trinity Valley, but it was not enough to seal the deal. The Pack is going to howl their victory tonight, and they move on to 4-3 in the season. They are above 500.
And that's big going into playoffs time. That gets you a little bit better seeding. It gets you a little bit going. But, that's what you needed out of that. And for Trinity Valley, hey, I think you had a pretty good – you're still having a pretty good season. 1-6, you got to win. It could have been way worse. And considering you got such a fresh team, this is a good-looking team to build a program off of, right? We saw some moments where there were players. CJ looked great, had some great shining moments. A lot of players from that team had moments where they looked good. So just hit the books again, come back, finish out the season, and just keep playing for the future. I think you've got something here for Trinity Valley as long as you put your nose to the grindstone.
Absolutely. But as we await the interviewee coming in from the Pack, we're going to toss it to a quick little break. But you guys don't want to go nowhere. Don't miss out on this hard-hitting interview. We have yet to decide on a player, but it will be somebody. So don't go nowhere. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a flash.
I can keep going. I think I can name every character in the game. Is it? Did I say the Ice Climbers already?
Yeah, you said them.
Is it them?
No.
Is it them a second time?
No.
Okay. All right. Oh, is it one of the Links?
Yes, it is.
Is it Toon Link?
It is.
Oh, that is pretty embarrassing. That is rough. Who do you play?
I'll give you $20 if you guess correctly right now.
First try?
First try.
Give me a single hint.
It's an obscure character.
Obscure character.
Not played very often.
Is it We Fit Trainer?
Oh my God!
I'm the interviewer for a reason, baby. I do what I do. I don't need the money. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. So Bowser Jr., We Fit, and I forgot already. Are you all lying to me? Am I being gaslit?
No.
Bowser Jr., We Fit, and you told me already. Oh, Toon Link. Yep. Where's my main support at? Who are we playing this weekend?
A lot of Brig.
A lot of Brig, really?
Brig Lucio, probably.
Brig Lucio, really? I shouldn't say that too loud. I don't want to give away your strategies. It's over-under?
What do you mean over-under?
Like, do we think we're going to podium? Do we think we're going to come in last place?
Not last place.
Not last place.
Certainly not last.
What about like 5th place?
That's doable.
That's doable? That's winnable? 3rd place?
Third
That's where things get dicey?
That's very doable.
Okay.
First place? That's very doable.
First place, very doable. Love it. That's the mindset. That's what he loves to hear. Yeah. Oh my God. Hold on. Cut the cameras. Well, who are you? Hello. Oh my God. I saw you earlier. I saw the back of your shirt. And I was like, I know that name. I know him. It's a quick play game. They Q-sniped each other at land. I thought it was a scrim. It's just unlucky. Are you actually a Villager player?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Villager being notably worse in Smash Ultimate than they were in Smash 4?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know? You never played Smash 4?
No.
Oh, that's all right. Nobody's going to hold that against you. Who do you play?
I play Robin.
Okay, wow. Did you know Robin has the lowest pick rate in the game?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Come on, the LEDs, it looks just like Samus.
Huh?
Do you disagree?
I guess I can see
The
it.
Samus vibe. Show the controller to the camera. We're interviewing. This is recording, by the way. Surprise.
Not my controller.
Who do you play?
I play Peach.
Oh, wow. I like that. Who do you play?
I play the Shotos, mostly Kazuya.
No, you lose against Kirby. That's just like a statistics thing.
Yeah.
It's maybe.
This is a death match. I think they're all in the same one. They're all on Icebox. Are they all in the same death match? Maybe. Who knows? I feel like none of them can hear me. I want to like approach somebody, but no one can hear. They all have both their headphones on.
What's up?
How do we think we're doing?
I think we're doing pretty good. Yeah.
What's your kitty?
We're looking at 10 and 6 right now.
Oh, hey, that's 3rd, dude. That's better than I expected. Who's bottom frag right now? I want to go talk to them. Ian? Hey, how do we think we're doing so far?
It could be better.
Could be better? You're one of those rough days?
Well,
Let's go find more people to harass. Yeah. Where's Boise State? Who's your favorite to play?
Oh, right now it's got to be either Chamber or Breach.
What country is Cypher from?
Oh, dude. It's Moroccan, right?
It is Morocco! Oh my God, I don't think anyone was gonna get that. Oh, you're good. All right, see you later. Let's go harass Boise State more. Who is this? What school is this? Boise?
This is Boise.
Oh man, that's okay. Boise's still got really good odds. A Large Bagel, one of their tank players, Nerdy Bird, they're off tank. Both of them not here. A little bit scary, if we're being honest. Getting warmed up, getting ready to cast some players. No, okay, not cast, interview. Change your mindset, change your mindset.
Words.
No, but last words until we come back.
Oh, okay.
Because we're leaving.
Enjoy.
Oh, that was good, that was good. Anything from you?
How are you doing, Polly?
Awesome, thank you so much for your time.
Hey, what's up? It's Honix back at it again to bring you the sickest clips from NJCAAE. But listen guys, here's the thing. Overwatch 2 still isn't out, and it's been so long that I understand understand what's happening in the Valorant clips now. I don't know how I could have let this happen. Anyways, let's check out the action from week 2 of ECAC. First up, we've got Nico Baca, who's got a need for speed.
But they have to be careful here. That kick not quite in their favor. Patrick has to be quick too. But Nico Baca, he's just soaring through the sky with way too much pace.
Yeah, you knew this was coming. When this one lingered up in the air for a bit too long from J-Neil's touch, Patrick tried to go up for this one, but Nico, like we said, he's been the fastest player in this lobby the entire...
Just a friendly reminder that fireworks always add pizzazz to your points.
Of this series.
Good read there by Chalk, because if he didn't place down that block, that would have been a really early stock lead that he would have gotten. And wow, that nade.
Absolutely sniped out of midair.
Everyone is in flux when Mount St. Mary's is on the point.
That piece, and that is the bulk of your healing if you're Emery and Henry. Now you're coming in with both DPS ults and the Shatter, but again, a massive Gravitic Flux comes out from Mount St. Mary's, stops it in their tracks before they can even get started.
Yeah, the Tac Vibes are gonna deal the final blows to several members of Emery and Henry.
Eve has got beef with BSU and wants everyone to know it.
One situation left to clutch it out.
No.
I'm a little bit afraid here that the wide swing's gonna come out, but Ian's waiting. Ian is being a little bit patient here. Eve is not going to be able to get the first one, and maybe if Ian was able to wait there a little bit longer, Eve would not have been able to get that free.
Someone, not me, is going to have to tell Talo Halo that sharing isn't always caring.
Gonna feed it, because right now Halo is feeding into it 59% before they've been touched for even 0.1% in this counting. There is Arsene, but he may disappear just as quickly as he has up here. Oh my goodness, Kilomiles, that is a 0 to death if I have ever seen one. Talo Halo.
Don't let your guard down. You never know when Rhino will come charging in.
Is all the way back. That just goes to show how much they're not wanting to make it, but Rhino with all the control gets the one on the board.
Talk about getting one in there. That he actually picks it up initially from a mini pass to himself. That an expert is expecting an expert to do something expertly, right? That is just about as simple as it gets, right? Just literally boiling it down to more basic Rocket League right there. Oh my God! And again, Rhino does it twice in about 30 seconds after no scores.
We're bringing it around town with Chowan University.
Hi guys, we're back. I'm Laird, he's Soev. We just witnessed a massacre from the Wolfpack of Madison onto the Trinity Valley Community College Cardinals. It was a 2-0 upset, or not upset. They won, whatever. Yeah. We don't have an interview, so that's it. You guys don't get anything. Bye. Goodbye. Yeah. Have a good... No, I'm just kidding.
But that being said, do go check out. We still got some more games over on Esports EU, the main channel. So if you're looking for some more esports, go over there, give them some love, and check them out because we won't be back here on Esports 2 until tomorrow. But it's been a pleasure to be with you tonight. Laird, any final thoughts?
I have a confession to make. During that second map, I had an entire bag of popcorn all by myself. And, I'm going to need to do some push-ups after this one, but... Thank you. Actually, that match, literally, it took me the entire match to finish the bag. So that was a good, perfectly timed bit of round. But hey, I'd like to thank all of you guys for tuning in here tonight. Soev, you got anything you want to talk about?
I mean, it was definitely a popcorn match for certain. Just watching those teams slug it out, and it's good to be here with you on Esports EU. I can't wait to come back for another one.
Absolutely, my friend. Hey, I'd like to thank Lemon for being our wonderful, wonderful observer tonight, as well as Professor Layton for running production. Without those two, you guys don't see any of this.
Yeah.
So, that action that we just witnessed wouldn't have happened. I'd like to thank Soa for being my wonderful co-caster tonight. It's been a pleasure, my friend. Again, like you said, I hope we get to do it again soon. But for everyone here at Esports U, as well as on behalf of both of these teams, I'm Laird. He's Soev. Thank you all so much. Have a good night. Head over to Esports U for some more Valorant.
Take care.
break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Collegiate Esport Commissioners Cup. I am Septilins, and I get a really neat opportunity here. We get to interview Burns from E United. Burns, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. We're on day 2 of the event. It's been a fantastic one. I ran into you yesterday, but we were running around like chickens with our heads off, and it has been, I mean, how has your time been here? What has this event kind of been like?
Yeah, it's great. I just love being in the passion pit, seeing all the college kids go at it. Reminds me of like an old school MLG event almost, but being like in the epicenter of the passion pit, seeing Rocket League, Valorant, Overwatch, and Smash, just it's amazing to see all of these schools compete against each other and get a shot to play on this main stage.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And tell us a little bit about kind of what is E United, right? Because we know that you're here, we know you're here to represent them, but for the people that don't know, what is E United?
Yeah, E United was founded in 2016. We're a professional esports organization. We've been in League of Legends, Overwatch, all the way to Battle Right, I think it was called back in the day. Right now in 2022, we are in Gears of War, Halo, Rocket League, PUBG, and announcing a new title tomorrow. I know, get the small intel here. So it's a lot of fun. I went pro in Call of Duty when I was younger. I ended up playing my last event under E United, switched in 2016, and I've been the GM ever since. So it's a true blessing to be able to stay with an organization for as long as I have, and we love giving back to the collegiate community. I actually graduated from Full Sail in 2013.
I was a little confused about the jersey. I was a little...
Yeah, so the Full Sail boys are out of the tournament, unfortunately, but I decided I would rep them today in their honor. Yeah, it's just great. I love working with younger individuals who are trying to find their path in esports, and these college kids are really showing what they're all about.
Yeah, so to be kind of an ex-pro player, where a collegiate scene at the time didn't exist, especially not to the scale right now, what is it like to see such high levels of success, such high levels of support for something that you weren't able to kind of get as much support in at the time, something that was looked down on a lot more?
Yeah, I'm extremely jealous. That's all I can say. Full Sail started their program in 2017. When I was there in 2011 and 12, it was just a bunch of nerds running around, just creating their own clubs. I was still striving to go pro, but now you have these opportunities to play on main stage, play in front of thousands of people. We just had locals back in the day. You would show up and play for like $200, $100. It was like lunch money.
Right.
Now these kids are playing for scholarships. They're playing for fame. They could pop off here and end up getting a sponsor for $10,000 or $20,000 from somebody.
Right.
So the opportunities are just endless at the moment, and I think it's just great that you basically can prove yourself and make anything happen right now.
It's instead of kind of what you had gone through, being in college and also trying to go pro, these kids can try to go pro while being in college. It's hand in hand instead of those two kind of battling kind of matchups. So if somebody's trying to go pro, right, they're like, Burns, I want to be you one day. I want to be the GM of E United one day. What is that first step to really take it from a hobby to a passion, to a job?
Yeah, I think I've told this story a lot, but it's really, I thought about going pro every night before I went to bed.
Right.
Like, I lived and breathed Call of Duty for years. It was my life. I had to skip dinner sometimes. I had to skip family functions, and my family didn't really understand, but it was what I wanted to do, and it all worked out. But at the end of the day, you always need to kind of be organized. You have to have the ability to not put all of your eggs in one basket. So even though it worked out for me, there are so many opportunities in esports. There's being a caster or interviewing people. There's working in production. There's helping people get waters. Like, literally, there are so many opportunities. So, oh, this crowd's awesome.
They're going crazy, dude. They stayed on their last life right now.
Off subject, Smash, regardless if it's middle school, high school, college, it pops off all the time. I love it.
Well, Burns, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you, guys.
Hey guys, KTAD here, and